welcome back. If you've been keeping up, I have been leveling up diligently with some characters. I've been working on Kate Sith and Red 13. It's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, simply because the leveling up in this game is slow nevertheless, and I wish there was a quicker system, but there's nothing at the moment at this point in the game, which is basically pre-Temple of Ancients. Kate Sith and Red 13 are lingering in at level 94. It's pretty typical though. I'm not too worried about them dying by any chance. This video's duration will be roughly about an hour to about an hour and a half. Not very long. Simply because I just can't stay on playing for that long. I have to get off and take care of some stuff. So today's session will be slightly less enthusiastic, but a lot can be done in an hour. I can probably gain a level or two. So don't anticipate two characters becoming level 99. Just anticipate that I'll be playing it here again. In the off chance that I happen to get that far, which I really doubt, because it takes a long time to get from level, 94, 95 to like the next level, which would be 95 or 96. It's a lot faster if I just use one character to level up. Unfortunately, I'm leveling up two characters at the same time. That battle's done. Sometimes I wonder if I should just let counterattack take care of all the issues, but what fun is that, right? Sorry, I just kind of stuttered there, because I'm actually playing two games at once, which is probably not in my best interest. Rumbling. The other game that I'm playing at the same time as I play this is actually Final Fantasy Record Keeper on my iPad. Usually I'm not all for these free-to-play games, but sometimes they appeal. I'm actually really good at playing some Final Fantasies. I would say in regards to like 7, I I would say I'm okay. Everybody saw my triumphant death way early on, and earning the trophy for death. I was really disappointed because it was a complete accident, and I was hoping that I could just, you know, run away, you know, or defeat the enemies without having an issue. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I died a very horrible death, and I was very upset about that. Okay, so... That was a bit unexpected. I totally forgot. I did not realize he got lucky 7s. Oh god. And I didn't have to do any manipulation for it whatsoever. Oh my god. I'm debating on a few things, but trying to think of the best way to deal with a problem. Sorry, Record Keeper is a little distracting. I'm getting ready to do a battle. The question always resides in, should I A, take a team, or a roaming warrior who specializes in the type of weakness I would like to point out, the best attack attribute or the lowering of defense. And almost all of these are great ways to like take care of problems. Problem is that usually I always forget how to take care of this type of enemy because it's a changing barrier enemy. So their weaknesses and strengths change, and it's kind of irritating, and I'm just not sure which one to use. It's a fun game, but choices always get me. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab the one that lowers the defense, because honestly, I'm probably going to beat them to a pulp anyway. Realistically, that just is more my style. Since, for whatever reason, magic costs something, but attacking is free. Yay, counterattack was born. You know what that means? Replace a counterattack with another counterattack, I guess. And then... yeah, these are almost ready to go. Oh, there for a second I thought I got lucky 7s again. I was like, oh shit. Ow. That's a thought that just ran to my mind that was bad. Since it's currently the event for the, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Final Fantasy VI event, I just realized that the final boss, when they die, uses Ultima. Kind of an oversight on my part. Oops. And I haven't made it to him yet, and I just realized it. Ah, damn it. I'm trying to also heal one of my characters because just a logical explanation. The thing I also noticed is usually my screen, like, not my screen, but when I upload my videos, they tend to, like, have a great, looking, like, caption or whatever, great scene for the window or whatever, the image. And I was always really surprised by that, because usually it's just like, oh, I'm grinding, what are you going to see me doing? Opening my menu? Walking this path of whatever? No, usually it catches when massive lightning attacks are going off, or a limit break, or something. And I was just like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Why? Oh, my all has been born. Basically, my all. Probably gonna sell a bunch of this anyway. Alright. Maybe just a little bit preoccupied for a second, because I'm going to get ready for this stuff. Huh, weird. Sorry, like I said. Trying to make sure that this barrier changes in just a fashion that I want it to. I think that's how this works. I want to make sure if he's using something, it's a match barrier. No. Huh. Ow. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit, I'm on the beach. Yep, and... shit. Oops. Yep, and my record keeper isn't doing so well. That's why I'm not talking a whole lot. Because kept on trying to use limits or soul breaks, and they're failing my horrible feat. I accidentally healed the boss that I was facing a bunch of times. I was like, oh shit. You're basically dead, but I'm also basically dead too. And I knew that was going to happen. Basically, I got all the way to the end, and he ended up using ultimate at the very end, and I was just like, damn it. I knew that was going to happen. Choices. Oops, did not mean to do that. Yep, and moving on. Damn it. Yep, alright, moving on a little bit. Moving on a little bit further. I'm getting nuked pretty good in my game, so that's why I'm a little bit upset. Alright, moving back. Yay. Oh my god. Yeah, so I finally beat that boss. Oh my god. I'm actually gonna take a look at it real quick, see what is. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it just keeps changing his defense every time he's hit. I was like, oh. It was a reward barrier ring. I don't know, it's useful. But at the same time, not so much. I don't know why anybody would want this character. Plus, I hate clowns. Kind of disgusting. I can't believe they made a freaking character for Kefka. Ew. I'm very much disappointed in Square Enix for even making him playable. Well, yes, I really don't know why they made Kefka playable in, or recruitable in Record Keeper. He's not a hero, and he's not even that great. I mean, at the same point, you get Sephiroth too, and I didn't quite understand that one either. So, got me on that one. Even Gilgamesh is recruitable, and he's like an enemy in Final Fantasy V. So, when I was playing Final Fantasy V and they gave him to me, I was like, wait a minute, why? You even get Reno. Which, Reno, he's an enemy, but he's also kind of one of the good guys. Has some redeemable attributes about himself. And to be frank, he is kind of comical. Unlike a certain clown. Aren't clowns supposed to be funny? Not maniacal, evil. Trying to take over the world and so forth. Yeah, who knows? I play it because I can actually make a dream team, more or less, I think. Always have to ask yourself, why do it in the first place, right? Like, why am I playing this game, like Final Fantasy VII? It's because it brings me a certain level of joy, usually. There are some, boring parts, obviously. This is being one of them. Is the heavy grinding to level 99. I feel kind of like a monster for not leveling up Cloud, but hey. Cloud must not level, I guess? I don't want to say die. Knocked out. Still really do enjoy other characters, though, that have been presented in Record Keeper. And in Final Fantasy VII, for that matter. I'm not so thrilled about K-Swift, though. K-Swift is one of those characters I just don't really have any love for. I mean, Cloud's okay, I guess. Honestly, this playthrough just needs more Zack. That's all it needs. More Zack. And I'm really hoping that when they come out with the remake, they go a little bit out of the way and actually give you a little bit more options for those that have already experienced Final Fantasy VII, but also cater to those who have not. You know, obviously, the biggest complaint that I ever hear from... Oh, man, that's tough. Biggest complaint I ever hear from players who are trying to, like, that generally won't play this game, won't play Final Fantasy VII in its original creation, are those that look at it and be like, oh, the graphics, or I don't think I can really get into this, it looks dumb. And I'm just sitting there and I was like, you have no idea. First of all, when this game came out, it was kind of at the pinnacle of animation, you know, of, you know, what they could do with the game. That'd be like if a new game came out and you fell in love with it right from the get-go, and years later, you know, you're trying to introduce it to somebody and they're like, ew, the graphics. Be like, well, I'm sorry that this doesn't have, you know, full 3D animation and doesn't have a, you know, couple $100 million budget, you know. Because this thing was at literally at the pinnacle, and it was kind of a big game. It ended up being like freaking. It would not fit onto like a single like game disc at the time for the original PlayStation, and it was one of the first few games that ever had multiple discs. Like that was a big thing because first of all, the disc software, the way that they were designed, could hold up more than a cartridge could. And when you look at it, if it took up 3 discs, that means you probably have more than 3 cartridges to play this game. And probably have to be required to have one of those save games if it would have been still on the 64. So, in which case, that's a scary thought. You know? Could you imagine being that one of those people who had this thing on a like Nintendo console and you lost one of the cartridges? It'd be damn near impossible to get a replacement, especially if it was like the first one. And these things are pretty big, so you probably wouldn't be able to lose them very easily, though. That's the thing. But whereas the big factor here is with the Final Fantasy VII being on disc. Now, it was in modern times. It's been what, 20 years since the game released originally in the US. I think it was 1995. And it took up a lot of space. And now we can fit that literally, like, on a flash drive. And then some. I mean, we could fit it on a flash drive 10 years ago. Our technology has evolved so much. If I remember correctly, this thing is, like, not even 4 gigs. In fact, it was back in the day when they were still measuring stuff in megabytes. And technically they still do, it's just not when you're thinking of games, you know? Like, 4 gigabytes is what a standard PS2 disc could hold, which is like a DVD-ROM. And then, when you really think about that, in comparison, the Blu-rays could hold up to, if I remember correctly, 50 gigs. Now, if you dual-layered them, you could hold up to 100 gigs. So if you're thinking about this game in retrospective, you could probably fit 25 copies of this game easily onto a dual-layered Blu-ray disc. That's a lot of room for expansion. So much room for expansion. I really do hope that they end up, making it so much better, clearer, and so forth. We've already seen the trailer that came with this game, as well as all the subsequent trailers afterwards, and what to expect. Final Fantasy VII, that the remake is going to be quite nice, and nobody can deny that. Now, though they're switching to HD graphics, I'm wondering how some of these characters will be designed. Like Cait Sith. He's kind of the oddball of the party. I'm not gonna lie. He is by far the strangest character. Because he's a machine, he's like 2 parts. Technically he's the cat on top of a Moogle, I think. But he's a freakishly looking Moogle. So one can only say what it's going to end up turning out to be like. In addition, I can't wait to see the reimagined Wutai, because they reimagined it in Crisis Core, and if you played the game, you know what I mean. It was kind of a little bit maze-like, and it was very colorful and very neatly done. I was very well impressed by that, and I was just like, wow, this is how I want it to be. And that was for the PSP. And they redid it. The game came out almost 10 years ago. Still a wonderful game. If you have not picked up Crisis Core, please, after you've played 7, go pick it up. I mean, technically you could play it before you play it. Wow, I missed a lot. Apparently that, only just had evasion up the ass. Yeah, give it a shot, I recommend playing that, watching Advent Children, episode, Denzel, and then also Before Crisis. So there's a lot out there that you can actually go and consume for this media. And some people are just like, I only like the original 7. I mean, there's also the Dirge of Cerberus, but I don't know if anybody's really all that much into it. Me as a player, I watched somebody else play it. I did not feel like it was really my style. I'm not much of a shooter, and I don't like being under pressure to shoot, so not my thing. Interesting story with Vincent. I get that he has a gun. Why not? They were really, going for that market. But that was before Crisis Core came out. And when Crisis Core came out, I was like, oh yeah, this is really where it's at. Just keep swinging. Eventually you'll hit it. If not, Red 13's got your back. But I still haven't cleared all the missions in Crisis Core, but I beat the game twice, and I was on my 3rd playthrough, and I had to stop, and I was like, this game's fun, and I'm glad that they have New Game Plus, and I think that should be a requirement for every game out there. You should be able to get a New Game Plus. It would make things so much more smooth. I mean, when you really think about it, try playing Final Fantasy VII and having New Game Plus where you start out the game with all of your materia and your levels, and maybe even your equipment, and money. That would be great. You could do so much with that. And then you could really just run through the story. You wouldn't have to stop and be like, oh yeah, I need to level up my character. I want to get this limit break, and, and it's kind of cool. It's like, no. Go ahead, New Game Plus. That's really how it should be. Now, and we know Square Enix can do it, and they know how to do it because they made the masterpiece Chrono Trigger. And to this day, I really love that game. It's my favorite video game of all time. And unless someone comes out with something more spectacular, that's gonna be what's gonna be going on. You know, there are other games obviously out there that I do love, new games, old games, whichever. Sometimes I'll pick up a game and I'll be like, yeah, this is really fascinating. You know? And it just kind of depends on the game. Big thing that really bugs me about Square Enix, though, is their capitalization on what they claim to be voice acting in their games. Mind you, they're not the first company to have voice acting in their games, not by a long shot. Voice acting's been in games for years. Okay, it's just how much voice acting. Now, it was the first Final Fantasy with voice acting, which was Final Fantasy X. But other games have had it for ages. Just think back to like Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1. There was voice acting. You know? Think about games from like the Super Nintendo era. There was some voice acting. You know, one prime example I like to point out is Popful Mail. And then there were also games like Lunar and Lunar 2, which were for the Sega CD, which was a precursor to the Saturn and an attachment for the Genesis. So that's way back there. That's Super Nintendo era right there. It's there. I've never actually heard of 428 Productions. What did they actually make? I'm really kind of curious on what that is, because there's a ton of companies out there, you know, that just get overshadowed by these huge companies. Ooh. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, it just all kind of depends. The voice acting, in my opinion, somebody did it. That's the important part. Like, and if you absolutely hate it, you know, there should be a setting to, like, turn off the volume. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something to do with it. I'm guessing that you're referring to Advent Children and, oh god, yeah, mainly Advent Children, because the other Final Fantasy movies don't really have Cloud in them. Or maybe I haven't seen them. I don't know. Huh. Might have to check those out. Still kind of cool, you know, because there's a ton of stuff that's out there. You know, when they first came out with Advent Children, we had to wait a while for it to come over to the United States, and they had to figure out who they wanted to voice the characters. And when Kingdom Hearts was here, they had to figure out who was going to voice Cloud. Now, that was a really big issue, a very big decision, and then trying to make the decision if those same voice actors would come back again for Kingdom Hearts 2, and if they would be the voices for the characters in Re-Chain of Memories, and then again for Advent Children when it finally came out. So I know they switched out some voice actors for those roles, but they didn't change all of them. And so it's really been a big debate, because the voice acting industry is very strange here in the United States, because you could have a voice actor that, like, a new voice actor for every iteration of a character. That means you might have a different voice actor for Cloud from Advent Children, and a different voice actor for, you know, Kingdom Hearts, like, for one of the games, you might have a different one for another Kingdom Hearts game, you might have a different one for, like, the remake. It just happens. It's a really strange, like, thing that happens here in the United States. Whereas, like, in Japan, they try really hard, and I do mean really hard, to use consistent voice actors. I know of one, or several, should I say, a series. I'm trying to think, an anime series that really kind of got on my case about that was the whole Fate Stay Night series, if anybody's ever heard of it. In the American release, they changed the voices of almost every single character in every iteration of the company, of the American release. But in the Japanese version, for the Japanese audio, it was always like the same voice actors playing the same roles, and it just blew my mind. I was like, why is this not a thing here stateside? Is it because people just don't want to do the roles anymore, or somebody thinks that they can do better? So, and I'm going to respond to your comment. I Bet Children was very, very entertaining, but it also depends on which version you're watching, because there's a very, like, noticeable difference between the DVD version of Advent Children and the Blu-ray version, because they added a bunch of stuff and changed some stuff in the Blu-ray version, which totally blew my mind. I was like, why'd they add this? Why'd they change this? Was there a reason for them to change it? A lot of it had to do with, like, trying to make consistency and references back to the game. Others were, let's make it more Michael Bay-like, I guess. Because they had large explosions and so forth. And I thought that was really cool. You know, I think I still have a copy of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children on Blu-ray on my shelf. And the only reason why I knew that there was a difference is because a relative of mine had the DVD version, and I watched that with them. And then I got the Blu-ray version later on. I was like, wait, this wasn't what I watched. This is different. And I went back to the DVD version, looked at it, and watched it. And I was like, wait, yeah, this is added. It was totally added. I don't know why, but who knows why. There's two in particular scenes that are greatly different. And those are the scene with Reno and Rude chasing down Cloud and Kadaj and the rest of the brothers, and Rude pulls out a rocket launcher and fires it at them, blowing the hell out of the bridge, road and all. So that was part of it. And then the other part was the fight between Cloud and Sephiroth was changed in the Blu-ray version to more accommodate the game where Cloud was stabbed, you know? And that's a very important part because Cloud was stabbed by Sephiroth. It's very important that, like, people notice that these were actual changes, though, because who knew beforehand, right? It was really interesting that they chose to do that, and I guess that they were trying to show, you know, Reno and Rude's, like, die-hard dedication at trying to stop Kadaj, you know, from obtaining his goal, but at the same point, it's like, I don't think it was really necessary. I think fans would have been happy either way. And that's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, I'm not sure if they actually made two different movies. All I know is there were some changes between the two. They weren't completely different. They're just slightly different here and there. So that's why I brought that up. I still think it's really wonderful that they made 2 different versions. I guess it creates more of a collectability. I mean, it's sort of like how they have, like, 2 different versions of Final Fantasy VII on the Virtual Console. They have the original one and the PC port. And I thought that was really strange because they did the original version port to the PlayStation 3 and the PC port to the PlayStation 4. And only one of them actually has trophies, and that's this version, for whatever reason. But I really do enjoy this version. It's fun. I'm glad they added in the fast forward 3 times speed thing because it makes things so much faster. And games have gradually gotten faster over time. I'm a big fan of having more speed, but if it's faster, it doesn't necessarily make it better. I'm going to point out a game that I played back in the PlayStation 2 era that was really kind of ridiculous. I don't know exactly what happened, but I was playing a game called Nightshade. I don't know what company came out with the game or anything like that, no specifics. But I was playing it with one of my family members. Again, it was just my cousin. And he and I were playing through the game, and what happened was the game was really fast, and we liked that it was fast, but then it became too fast, to the point where we were fighting a boss battle, and literally if we blinked, we died. It was that bad. It was really hard, and to this day, we never actually did beat it or anything like that. It was just a hard game because it was so fast. I'm pretty sure there are other games out there that are kind of like that, where it's like unbelievably fast delivery. But you know, not all games are meant to be beaten. Some you just lose, like Tetris, because you never win at Tetris. You just get better at it. You never win, though. The game's all about losing and accepting defeat. Which I really love that about that game. I'm not very good at Tetris. Like, I could probably only get to, like, level 4 or something like that. But it'll be awesome. Go K6, pound, pound, pound. Oh, wait. Gradually getting up there. Unfortunately, Ninja hit him. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. I thought it was called Nightshade. Or maybe you're referencing a different game. I'm not sure. There's so many choices out there for games. Some are really... Oh, Ninja Gaiden. Okay, yeah. That game's supposed to be really hard. I played a little bit of it. But it's not literally like if you blink you die. So... at least as far as I know. Though there are some really funny like videos out there about how hard Ninja Gaiden is. So, if you ever get a chance, go ahead and, check out those videos. I know there's one called, God, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Ninja Gaiden Awesome. It's kind of an older video, it's really quick, but it's talking about how, like, Ninja Gaiden is so hard, like, really hard, and it's for, like, men, and even men will cry when playing it. It's really funny. Mind you, they also have one for, like, Metal Gear Awesome, and I thought that was funnier, because, yeah, anybody who's played Metal Gear Solid will get the jokes, especially the original Metal Gear Solid. it'll take you on a nostalgia trip at the very least. So, kind of dumb, quick videos. So, when I go to fight the final boss of this game, I kind of curious. Who do you want me to use? You know, what party members do you want me to use against the final boss? Because I have choices. You know, I have all the optional characters. Anybody will do. I'm stuck with the mandatory Cloud. Ugh. So the other two party members are fair game. Whoever you want me to use. And if you want me to use something in particular to fight said boss or bosses, like, to be specific, I mean, do you want me to use a certain character's limit break? Do you want me to use a certain character's weapon? You know, let me know. I'm kind of curious. Anything will work. Or if you want me to use a certain type of, you know, magic or summon against the final boss, that'd be great too. I know some people request me to use, like, Knights of the Round against Genova, but, you know, I can do that. That's not that big of a deal. Usually I do that anyway because it's a lot faster. But it gives the final boss a hell of a lot more health. And the great thing about this game also, Final Fantasy VII, is you know who the final boss is very early on. I think that's also the case with Final Fantasy VI. You know what your goal is. I mean, Final Fantasy X kind of does, but it goes, it has kind of a roundabout way of doing it. It's not like Final Fantasy IX where you don't know who the... How the hell did that happen again? Okay. This has got to be one of the strangest videos ever, because I've just gotten lucky 7s with Kate Sith twice. And I don't generally want him to go lucky 7s. Though... Yeah. It's... the oddity of the health, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna be at this for maybe another 5 or so minutes because I have to go take care of something. I'm really hoping in those 5 or so minutes I level up, but I really doubt it. You know how that is sometimes. You have wishful thinking for a level up, and you're just like, I could totally do this in this amount of time, but probably not. After which, I'm probably going to work on some college-related, you know, stuff, which won't take me very long, and I might jump back on and play a little bit more, depending on how long that takes. I'm trying to be a responsible college student, but at the same time, I don't have that much commitment. I mean, people ask me, it's like, so what have you read? I'm like, I've read a bunch of papers. It's like, what have you written? I was like, technically, I've only written down like a slideshow and, you know, maybe somewhat of a plan. So, not very much at all. I'm very laid back, and I'm pretty sure I have everything under control at this point. Considering I'm basically in a pass-fail kind of situation, so It's either I do well or I do poorly, and I'm intending to do well. I mean, everybody's looking at me and they're like, wow, you're way more dedicated to what you're supposed to be doing than what we expected you to. And I'm just like, yep, that's what the territory comes with, I guess. So, and here in like 6 months, I'll have a nice cushy job and I'll be happy. Making a hell of a lot what I've been making previously. So, the joys of life. So, I was looking at this train. It looks really flat for where we're at, and I'm just like, we're kind of in the mountains, and I'm just like, why are we? Like, these are kind of cool mountains, too. Don't get me wrong. And if these are supposed to be, like, equivalences to, like, Japan, are they trying to say that they're more mountainous than, like, the mainland? Because there are some pretty high mountains in the mainland, but there are way more mountains here. It's, like, scary, like, how much mountains there are. So, I'm a bit concerned. Now, remember that this is also a game that's against all sorts of, you know, environmental issues. You know, this is a game way ahead of its time. It talks about environmental issues. It talks about, you know, monopoly issues, terrorism, you know, crimes that organizations can't commit, unneeded wars, though that was more listed later on, because you never quite understand why Shinra actually has a military force at all, other than it needs to protect its, you know, power plants. I'm like, well, great. So, protect it from who? Terrorists? Because there aren't very many of those. I mean, throughout the game, you are encountered with, what, like, 5? In, like, the entire world? That's kind of a scary number, right? 5 people, oh no. I mean, maybe a few more if you count, like, some of the other party members, but yeah. So that brings up, like, the total to, like, what, 10? 10 people. You need a military force to take down 10 people. Really funny. And somehow they succeed. That's even the funnier part. It's like, yeah, they just kind of bust through our defenses. What the hell? And I'm over here, I'm like, you're telling me a few people got through and blew up, like, a major part of your company, more or less. I'm like, yeah. I'm just like, oh my god. I mean, the funniest part is when their shit explodes even without terrorists involved. Or they do it themselves in hopes to kill the terrorist. And I'm just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? First of all, not very, you know, friendly to the environment, not very friendly to, you know, your own company. You're destroying your own company property to try to get somebody. And then, thirdly, your shit blows up on its own anyway, so why do you even fucking care? Get freaking insurance or something, goddammit. Or does insurance not cover that shit? Does it not cover terrorist attacks or, you know, malfunctions? That's really what it is. It's a malfunction. Alright, I'm gonna do one more battle. And then I'm gonna call this video good, simply because I have to do my running. going to actually check to see how many Phoenix Downs I also have too, because Phoenix Downs are very valuable. I have 99 Phoenix Downs. Great. Alright. So, saving game. I'm actually going to take a quick look before I shut this off to see what level my other party members are right now. Oh, Barrett's level 90, so is Tifa, and Aerith is level 99, Sid is 90, Vincent is 91, and Yuffie is 99. Alright, awesome. We're doing really good at leveling up. I will also take comments on who you want me to level up next. Will it be the two guys, Vincent and Sid, or will it be Tifa and Barrett, or a different combination of the four? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious. Alright, until next time, Mune out.